All right, so you know how AMD's laptops are just crushing right now, right? They have better value and performance than what Intel's offering in a lot of their devices. And we've seen some really good AMD laptops already, but this just took it to another level. This is the Acer Swift 3. It's a $650 thin and light performance machine. Not like ultra high performance, but it is very capable for the price point. So this is going to be super popular with students because they've done so much right at a fair price point. So it's running these new AMD chips, the 4700U, one of those new Ryzen ones, and it's got a built-in GPU that's the Vega 7, a very capable graphics chip that pushes out frame rates that are you just don't see that with integrated graphics before. It's really cool. So I'm just going to go into the one and only negative I find about this product first, just to get it out of the way, because if this is like a deal breaker for you, you can move on. All right, this screen is a very mediocre screen. It's a 14-inch 1080p panel, but it's not very bright. It's bright enough for most people's regular use, but if you use it in a brightly lit environment, or if you want to bring it outside, you might have some issues. But the bigger problem is color accuracy. This is a very color inaccurate screen. Everything seems to have like a greenish tint to it. I did run the Spider X on this panel to try to calibrate it. It can only do so much though. So if your workflow or hobbies require you to have like good color accuracy, you might be disappointed with this. Like if you're into like photography or digital illustration or video editing, I would look at other displays if you're going to rely on this thing as your main panel. Okay. Aside from the screen though, and I'm just putting it out there, that is the one weakness of this device. If you're good with that, you'll probably like the rest of this device. Okay, keyboard. Good keyboard, not just for an inexpensive device. It's a solid typing experience for any kind of laptop. The arrow keys on the bottom right here, there's page up, page down keys. It's nice to have dedicated keys, but if you're someone who's not used to the positioning of those, you may accidentally hit them if you're hitting left and right. It is something you get used to quite easily, and I think the overall keyboard experience is solid. There's a fingerprint sensor on the bottom right, so you can log into it really quickly through Windows Hello. And the trackpad it's a Windows Precision driver. I think all devices are these days. The surface material is smooth, but it is plastic, so it doesn't have that ultra premium feel that more expensive glass trackpads might have. But it's a good overall trackpad, and the click it's a clean mechanical click. All right, let's talk about performance, because that is where the juice is. This is running an 8-core 4700U from AMD, and multi-core performance is good, like really good for a device like this, but performance is limited because it's running a 15-watt chip in a chassis that's relatively small, and the fan noise is reasonable. I actually think they could have gone with a bigger or louder fan to just get slightly better performance, but they went with a quiet fan, and I think a lot of people will appreciate that. Now, in terms of gaming performance, this machine is surprisingly capable. I can play shooters like Valorant and Overwatch at near 100 frames per second on this 1080p screen. Like, granted, the graphics are lowered, but you can't do that with integrated graphics with any Intel device. It's actually really, really impressive of what's going on here. So if you're someone that's, you're a casual gamer, this is a great option. And here's the other thing. If you can convince your parents to get this thing, like if you're a student and you're like, hey mom, hey dad, here's a $650 machine, you don't mention the fact that it can play games, but you're like, I want this for school. It's secretly capable for light gaming, and I would have been happy with this performance when I was in university. Like, if you think about what you're getting here for $650, it's quite impressive. Think about the Razer Blade Stealth from last year, the 2019 model. That had an MX150 and was like triple the price of this, and this gets better performance than that, just in terms of gaming performance. Yeah, that's the power of AMD and this new Vega 7 chip, like the APU that's inside these things. Okay, to close this off, so the ports, we have a decent port selection. It's got 2 USB-A's, 1 USB-C that can be used for charging. It does use a barrel plug for regular charging, but you can use USB-C if you need to in a pinch. And that's it for ports. There's no card readers or even a third USB-A. Okay, so build quality on this machine, because I didn't talk about this earlier. It is fully aluminum and surprisingly sturdy. It doesn't feel like ultra premium. If I had to be like critical and picky about where there might be some shortcomings or deficiencies, I can't really find anything. Like, you can't open the device with one finger if that's something that really bothers you. Like, you do have to hold the bottom part of it down to open it. But overall, banging. Okay, let's show the inside just real quick. You have good access to the internals. You can replace the SSD and the Wi-Fi, but they're both good. Like, this is a PM991, a super fast Samsung drive, 512 gigs. I don't even know how they're supplying this at $650. Like, I've seen laptops that are double this price that have crappier drives than this. It's also got the Wi-Fi 6, like the new Intel card. Great Wi-Fi card. The RAM, however, is soldered on, and I don't think you can even upgrade it beyond 8 gigs. You're stuck at 8 if that bothers you, and the battery down here is a 50 watt-hour battery. It's like a 6.5, 7-hour battery on my regular tests. I really would have liked to have seen longer battery life. It's a little bit short. You do need to bring the charger if you're bringing this to school or work. Like it's almost a full day, but not quite. Compared to like an XPS 13, those have some of the longest battery lives out there. This is a little bit short. It could be the chip, like the AMD chip, but it's not drawing crazy wattage. I'm not sure what it is. I think it's just the battery size. It's a little bit short. But yeah, at $650, I'm okay with that. There's also speakers on the left and right that sound way better than I thought they would. There are devices, again, that are much more expensive that sound worse than these. So yeah, happy with the speakers. They do point down, like they're bottom firing. So if you have them on your lap or something, they may not sound as clear, but overall, good sound system. Overall, good laptop. I think this is going to be crazy popular just because of its price point and what you're getting for $650. Popular with students, popular for anyone who's looking for a good value in a well-built laptop. The only compromise I feel like they made was that screen. So that's why I mentioned it earlier in this video. If that's something that doesn't really bother you that much, and I feel like for most people it shouldn't, but if you're picky, then no, don't get this thing. But otherwise, it's got my recommendation. Okay, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thumbs if you liked it, subs if you loved it. See you guys next time.